Hello everyone and welcome back to today's 9 p.m. daily quiz. I hope all of you are doing good and I hope you have all watched yesterday's video as well. We resumed yesterday our very old 9 p.m. daily quiz series where every single evening I have a lecture to revise the day's current affairs for you. We revise the most important news stories for the day in the form of questions and answers. I expect you to try and attempt all these questions as well and tell me in the comment section how much did you score. So let's start with today's quiz without any further ado. I hope all of you have read today's newspapers or watched the videos that you follow for current affairs. First question. The Ayodhya temple, that is Ram Janmabhoomi's Dhwajarohan ceremony, marks the completion of its main spire and outer wall. Which law governs the preservation of the religious character of places of worship in India? As you know, the Dhwarajarohan ceremony of the Ram Janmabhoomi was a lot in the news. It was done by Prime Minister Modi. With that in mind, first option, Article 370. Second, Places of Worship, Special Provisions Act 1991. Third, Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act. And fourth, Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Act of 1951. Now, when the Ram Janmabhoomi dispute was being decided by the Supreme Court, this particular law was a lot in the news. The answer here is B. The Place of Worship Act states that the character or the religious character rather of any place cannot be changed in India. This will remain the same as it was in 1947 when India got independent. So after our independence, religious character of any place cannot change except the Ram Janmabhoomi dispute. It was mainly done so that after this dispute is resolved, no such other dispute comes back in the news. This is an extremely important law and a lot of people are now questioning this law, the side that is demanding that other places also should be re-looked into from their historical point of view. The answer here is B. I hope it's an easy one. You should be able to answer this. Next is the second question for the day. India's Central Water Commission (CWC) issued fresh advisories after unusually high flows were recorded in several Himalayan rivers. The river flow forecasting and flood moderation in India primarily operate under which institutional mechanism? It is important. First, National Disaster Response Force. Second, Flood Forecasting Network of the CWC. Third, National Water Development Agency, and fourth, the Interstate River Water Tribunal. So which of these looks into the flood forecasting and issue the forecast beforehand depending upon the flow of water? The answer is B. Flood Forecasting Network of the Central Water Commission. The question in itself was enough to give you the hint of the answer. The CWC has a flood forecasting network. So they look into the river flow or the water flow in each river, they compare with the earlier rivers, and then they take a call whether it is dangerous, is it going to the level of floods, or is it still within the safe limit. So the answer here is B. It looks into mainly the Himalayan rivers, that is the perennial rivers in India. Question number 3. India's exports to the Middle East saw a sharp rise this month due to increased petrochemical and engineering goods demand. Which of the following correctly explains India's benefits under India-UAE CEPA in such scenarios? 1. All goods exported from India automatically qualify as zero tariff under CEPA. So please remember the free trade agreements that are signed, most of them will never apply to all the goods going down to zero. So this is wrong. CEPA bans re-export of goods through UAE, not correct. Tariff reductions for specified sectors plus rules of origin benefit to improve competitiveness. Yes, absolutely correct. This is the answer. Also understand what exactly do you mean by rules of origin. Let's take this example here. Let's assume for a moment that India and Vietnam sign a free trade agreement. So we tell Vietnam that if you sell any mobile phone to India, we will not impose any tax on that. However, let's assume something like this happens, that China sells its mobile phone to Vietnam and then the same mobile phone Vietnam sends to India and demands that India should not put any taxes because we have signed a free trade agreement with Vietnam. To ensure that this situation does not arise, because we don't want Chinese goods being dumped into India, we don't want this situation to arise. To stop this from happening, we in our agreement write a provision called the rules of origin. Means the product that will get zero tax access to India should have originated in Vietnam. So most free trade agreements do contain this because we don't want this provision to be misused. This is the answer. That is B. So India UAE free trade agreement also talks about the rules of origin. That is, the two countries will only give preferential treatment to the products that have originated in these individual countries. Question number 4 then. This is about the volcanic ash. I have made a detailed video on this that you can see on my YouTube channel as well. A plume of volcanic ash from an Ethiopian eruption reached parts of India. This is an example of which phenomena? As you know, there was a volcanic eruption in Ethiopia, because of which disruption has been seen in Indian air traffic as well. Is it because of tropospheric ozone depletion? Is it long-range transport of aerosol in the upper tropospheric or lower stratosphere range? Is it ENSO-induced volcanic activity, or is it Arctic ozone hole formation? Which phenomena is seen here? This phenomena. That is, the aerosols that have come out of the volcano, the volcanic ash, they have traveled through thousands of miles across the entire world. And that is why we have seen disruptions in flights in many countries, including in India. From Ethiopia, they travel to Yemen, Oman, Pakistan, India, and then it's moving towards China. So disruption was mainly for 24 hours. The answer here will be B. Next is question number 5. Under the new DPDP rule, as you know, Personal Data Protection Law or Data Protection Laws 2025, which statement about cross-border transfer of personal data is correct? Number 1. Do the law talk about 100% mandatory localization, means all data has to be stored in India locally? Second, no restriction of any kind, means all the data can go outside India. Government may notify category of data whose transfers abroad may be restricted. Or fourth, private entities can transfer data once consent is taken. The answer here is C. The government has given itself the power to decide which kind of data is not allowed to leave India. The Indian government has always been concerned that the data of Indians should not be taken outside India, at least not without a consent. Now the government can decide which kind of data do they not want to go outside. And this is why it is important. This is as per the new DPDP rules released by the government of India. The answer thus is C. Moving on to question number 6. The Supreme Court recently warned against the misuse of criminal law when ties sour. This observation primarily relates to which of the constitutional provisions? So Supreme Court recently said that you cannot misuse criminal law when your personal relation goes bad. This applies to which of the following provisions? Article 14, that is equality before law. Article 21, protection of law and personal liberty. Article 352, emergency. 7th, schedule of federal distribution of power. The answer is article number 21. Article 21 has been used time and time again. Article 21, as you know, has been expanded quite a bit. It even includes the right to marry the person of your choice. With respect to that, the Supreme Court had said that you cannot misuse the law when you think now my personal relation is not going good, so I'll misuse that. That will not be allowed. The answer thus in this case is B. This was the Supreme Court's argument. Next, we have question number 7. The Ministry of Mines limestone block auction initiative in Jammu and Kashmir aligns with which clause of National Mineral Policy 2019? I asked a question on this yesterday as well. So which of the provisions of National Mineral Policy are in line with this? First, exclusive mining right for PSUs. So only PSUs will be the one giving the mining license. Second, prohibition of private sector investment. Third, promotion of value addition and beneficiation in India. And fourth, ban on mineral export. Which of these provisions of the policy has been kept in mind in this initiative? The answer here is C. Promotion of value addition and beneficiation in India. Meaning that as per the policy, the government will try that the locals from where the minerals have been extracted, some value addition happens there itself. They don't just keep exporting the raw material, so that they also get more benefits out of it. Under this, the Ministry of Mines launched the limestone block auction initiative in Jammu and Kashmir. I have one more question for you. So this is question number 8 in today's quiz. India recently highlighted loss and damage finance as a priority at global climate platforms. Under the Warsaw International Mechanism, which of the following is the primary objective of loss and damage framework? First, It provides mandatory compensation from developed countries to all climate affected countries? No. See, whenever there are talks of climate finance, nothing is mandatory. The richer countries will never allow something mandatory to be taken out from their pocket. Addresses climate impact that cannot be mitigated or adapted to, especially for vulnerable countries. Create a carbon credit marketplace for disaster affected nations. Replace the Green Climate Fund with a new UN body. The answer here is B. Loss and damage fund is again a voluntary fund where the developed world, the richer countries will pool in the money, and the money will be distributed to those countries that are vulnerable against climate change, that have faced a lot of losses. Pakistan, as you know, a few months ago faced huge devastating floods, so a lot of money was given to them as well under the loss and damage fund. The answer thus in this case will be B. This brings me to the end of this session. I hope you got most of the questions right. Do tell me in the comment section how many did you get right. Do join me tomorrow as well, same time at 9 p.m. If you're new here, do hit the like and the subscribe button as well. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye-bye. Jai Hind.